And there is a way that you can get rid of cataracts, and that is 1 drop of castor oil wiped over the eyelid. It'll go through the lashes. The castor oil will penetrate in through the eyelid and also into the eye through the lashes. Castor oil penetrates deeper than any other oil, and wherever it penetrates, it breaks up unnatural formations, which a cataract is. I've had several people get back to me and testify that their cataracts are going by doing the castor oil.
Sometimes the biggest threat to your vision isn't what's in front of your eyes, it's what's happening inside them. By the age of 60, most people begin to experience a slow clouding of the lens, a process that quietly leads to cataracts. It doesn't happen overnight. It builds over years as proteins in your lens start to clump together, turning once clear eyesight into a foggy blur. What starts as mild glare or slight dimness can gradually make faces harder to recognize, reading more difficult, and driving at night nearly impossible. The real problem is that once this process begins, it keeps progressing unless you actively fight it. Studies show that oxidative stress and nutrient deficiency play a key role in lens damage. In fact, people with low antioxidant levels are up to 40% more likely to develop cataracts as they age. Left unchecked, this damage can speed up vision loss, increase light sensitivity, and even make eye surgery the only option left. But here's the encouraging part. You can take control of your eye health naturally. You don't need expensive treatments or complicated routines. By simply adding certain fruits to your daily diet, you can nourish your lenses from the inside out, slow cataract formation, and keep your vision sharp and clear. In this video, I'm going to reveal 8 powerful fruits that protect your eyes, restore clarity, and may help you prevent cataracts before they even start. Each of these fruits is backed by real nutritional science, and one of them is so common it's probably already sitting in your kitchen right now. Before we begin, type 1 in the comments if you're ready to protect your eyes. Now let's start with the first fruit. Number 1, orange and other citrus fruits. Oranges are the first fruit to talk about because they're a simple, high-impact source of vitamin C, the nutrient most often linked to better lens health. The lens of the eye relies on antioxidants to fight damage from light, metabolic activity, and normal wear. Vitamin C is abundant in the lens and helps neutralize free radicals that would otherwise damage proteins and cloud the lens. Multiple large analyses of diet and eye health show that people with higher vitamin C intake or higher blood vitamin C levels tend to have a lower rate of cataract formation or need for cataract surgery than people with low vitamin C. That does not prove cause and effect in every case, but the signal appears consistently in many studies, and it tracks with the biology. Vitamin C is concentrated in the lens and has known antioxidant actions. What that means in practical terms, eating citrus regularly raises your odds of keeping clear lenses. A single medium orange gives roughly 60 to 70 milligrams of vitamin C. For many people, 2 to 3 servings of vitamin C-rich food per day will keep dietary intake well above the minimum recommended amount and closer to the intake levels that show protective associations in studies. Whole fruit is preferable to juice because it adds fiber and slows the sugar spike. If you use juice, keep portions small, a small glass, not a large one, and avoid sweetened mixes. How to work oranges into daily life without fuss. Peel an orange with breakfast, slice one into a salad, add orange segments to yogurt, or carry a clementine as a snack. For variety, include other citrus, grapefruit, satsuma, tangerine, and blood orange. Each adds a slightly different nutrient mix. Grapefruit and blood orange provide flavonoids that add antioxidant activity beyond vitamin C. If you take certain medications, check interactions. For example, grapefruit can affect levels of many drugs. Ask a pharmacist or doctor if you're on prescription meds. A sharp, practical plan: aim for at least 1 full serving of citrus per day and 2 if you tolerate it and want more vitamin C. Combine citrus with a meal that contains a little fat, nuts, cheese, avocado, so the body can use the vitamins and flavonoids better. If you prefer smoothies, blend whole fruit and add a handful of leafy greens, but don't overdo fruit juice. If you don't like raw citrus, roast segments briefly or add them to cooked dishes. Heat reduces vitamin C somewhat, but not completely. Number 2, blueberries and other dark berries. Blueberries are small, but they pack plant compounds called anthocyanins. These pigments give berries their deep color and play 2 useful roles. They act as direct antioxidants and they support microcirculation, small blood flow in tissue. For the eye, that matters. The lens and retina depend on steady, clean microcirculation to carry oxygen and nutrients and to clear waste. Some human studies find higher berry intake or higher intake of anthocyanins is associated with a modestly lower risk of some eye conditions, and lab and animal work shows anthocyanins protect eye tissues from oxidative stress. The strongest evidence for berries is for retinal protection and circulation benefits, but some analyses show a modest link between anthocyanin intake and lower cataract risk as well. Again, the human data vary by study, but the overall picture supports regular intake of berries as part of an eye-supportive diet. Why blueberries are a practical choice. They are easy to eat, taste good, and mix well with many foods. A cup of blueberries gives fiber, vitamins, and a solid dose of anthocyanins. The compounds in berries also reduce systemic inflammation and improve blood vessel function. That's important because chronic inflammation and poor vascular health are drivers of age-related eye changes, including cataracts. In clear terms, better microcirculation, better nutrient flow to the eye, less oxidative stress on lens proteins. How to use them? 1 serving, roughly a cup, several times per week is a good habit. Fresh or frozen both work. Freezing preserves most of the anthocyanins and makes storage easy. Add berries to oatmeal, yogurt, cottage cheese, salads, or blend them into smoothies. For texture and satiety, pair them with protein, Greek yogurt, a small handful of nuts, rather than always mixing them into sugary cereal. Number 3, papaya and other orange flesh tropical fruits. Papaya deserves attention because it combines several useful nutrients: vitamin C, vitamin A precursors, beta-carotene, and other antioxidants like vitamin E and small amounts of carotenoids. These nutrients act together to lower oxidative stress in eye tissues. Papaya also contains enzymes and compounds that reduce inflammation and support cell repair. The scientific literature includes reviews showing carica papaya extracts have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects in lab studies, and population studies link higher intakes of vitamin A and C with reduced cataract risk. That combination, strong vitamin C plus beta-carotene, makes papaya a practical choice for eye support. How papaya helps in real life. The lens is mostly protein, and proteins can be damaged by oxidation and cross-linking over time. Beta-carotene and vitamin A help maintain epithelial surfaces and protect tissues from light damage. Vitamin C acts as a frontline free radical scavenger. Eating papaya regularly raises levels of both. Unlike pills, whole papaya also supplies fiber, potassium, and other micronutrients that improve overall health and metabolism, and that spills over to eye health because systemic health affects the eyes. Serving suggestions and easy habits. Fresh papaya sliced with a squeeze of lime at breakfast, diced into a salsa for fish or chicken, blended into a smoothie with coconut milk and a small amount of mango, or simply eaten plain as a dessert. 1 cup of diced papaya supplies a large fraction of daily vitamin C needs and meaningful beta-carotene. If ripe papaya is not available where you live, frozen cubes are often sold and work well in blended dishes. Practical tip for buying: choose papayas that give slightly under gentle pressure. Overripe fruit is prone to fermentation and will have off flavors. Underripe papayas are firmer and less sweet. If you use papaya frequently, buy a few and allow them to ripen at room temperature, then use or refrigerate. Number 4, grapes, red and purple grapes and grape products. Grapes, especially darker varieties and products like Concord grapes or high-quality grape juice and wine in moderation, contain polyphenols such as resveratrol, flavanols, and anthocyanins. These compounds have been studied for eye protection because they reduce oxidative stress and support cellular antioxidant systems. Animal and lab studies show grape-derived compounds can slow or reduce the development of lens clouding under experimental conditions like ultraviolet exposure. Recent animal work found that diets supplemented with grape powder reduced UV-induced cataracts in mice and helped preserve glutathione, a key antioxidant in the lens. That suggests grapes help maintain the lens's internal antioxidant reserves, which is a solid biological mechanism for reducing cataract risk. Why grapes are useful in a real-world diet? They are portable, shelf-stable for a few days, and available year-round. A serving of grapes gives antioxidants and hydration. For eye care, the focus is steady intake of foods that preserve glutathione and reduce reactive oxygen species. Grapes complement the vitamin C and carotenoid-rich fruits already discussed by adding polyphenols that work through different biochemical routes. How to use grapes. Snack on a small bunch of grapes, freeze grapes for a cold treat, toss them into salads with nuts and cheese, or blend a small amount of 100% grape juice into a smoothie. Watch total sugar. Concentrated grape supplements exist, but whole fruit or minimally processed juice keeps the fiber and lowers the risk of consuming excessive sugar or concentrated doses that some supplements use. Dosage and habit. A cup of grapes a few times per week fits easily into most diets. If you like grape juice, limit portions to a small glass and balance with fiber and protein in the same meal. If you consider supplements standardized for resveratrol, talk with a clinician first because supplements vary in purity and dose. Number 5, mango and other beta-carotene-rich fruits. Mango is a good choice for lens support because it supplies both provitamin A, beta-carotene, and vitamin C. Beta-carotene converts to vitamin A in the body as needed and helps protect epithelial surfaces, including tissues of the eye. Vitamin A and carotenoids in the diet have shown links with reduced cataract risk in several studies. Mango also supplies dietary fiber and other antioxidants that help overall metabolic health. The combined action, carotenoids that support tissue integrity and vitamin C that provides antioxidant protection, makes mango a useful fruit for eye health. How to eat mango without adding excess sugar and calories. Slice fresh mango into salads, blend a few cubes into a green smoothie with spinach, which adds lutein, or dice mango onto grilled fish as a salsa. One medium mango has a substantial uptick in vitamin C and carotenoid content, so one serving a few times per week moves nutrient intake toward levels associated with eye benefits in observational studies. Practical combos that boost eye nutrients. Combine mango with leafy greens or eggs. Leafy greens supply lutein and zeaxanthin, nutrients that cluster in the eye's macula and lens and act as antioxidants and light filters. Eggs add fat that improves carotenoid absorption. A quick recipe: toss chopped mango with baby spinach, a sliced hard-boiled egg, and a light olive oil vinaigrette. This gives carotenoids, vitamin C, and the fat needed to absorb them. A weekly plan that works. Include mango or another orange-fleshed fruit 3 times per week. Add berries daily if possible. Keep citrus regular, use grapes as a variety item, and add papaya when available. Combine these fruits with leafy greens, nuts, and lean protein so the nutrients are absorbed and put to use. Number 6, kiwi. Kiwi is one of the most concentrated whole food sources of vitamin C you can add to your daily menu, and that matters for lens health. The lens depends on antioxidants to neutralize damage from light and metabolism. Vitamin C is one of the main antioxidants the eye uses. Studies and reviews link higher vitamin C intake with lower rates of cataract formation and slower lens aging, so getting reliable vitamin C from real food makes sense as part of a prevention plan. What you get from a kiwi beyond vitamin C matters too. Kiwi supplies fiber, potassium, small amounts of lutein, and other antioxidants. These nutrients work together. Vitamin C scavenges free radicals, fiber helps metabolic control, which protects the eye, and potassium supports vascular health. A food that bundles those benefits is more useful than a single isolated supplement for most people. Practical point: 2 kiwis a day can boost daily vitamin C intake substantially and is better tolerated by the digestive system than very large supplement doses. How this helps the lens in plain terms: oxidative stress slowly damages the proteins in the lens. Over years, those damaged proteins clump and cloud, creating a cataract. Consistent dietary antioxidants reduce the rate of this damage. Several population studies show people with higher vitamin C status have lower cataract risk. Mechanistic lab work shows vitamin C concentrates in the lens and helps maintain the antioxidant buffer there. That's not a cure, but it is a workable preventive strategy. Daily use ideas that actually stick. Eat a kiwi with breakfast, slice it into yogurt or oatmeal, or toss it into a smoothie with leafy greens and a small fat sauce, a spoon of nut butter or a bit of avocado, to help absorb any fat-soluble compounds you include. Kiwi skin is edible and adds fiber. If you tolerate the texture, leaving skin on adds a nutritional edge. If you prefer sun gold varieties, one fruit may equal 2 common green kiwis for vitamin C, so adjust portions accordingly. Who should be cautious? Kiwi is generally safe, but some people react to it, oral allergy syndrome, and others with prior kidney stone issues should keep an eye on total vitamin C intake if they use large supplements. Also, very high vitamin C supplement use has mixed evidence for cataract outcomes, so getting vitamin C from whole fruit is the safer first move. If you're on blood thinners or many prescription drugs, check with a clinician before changing your diet drastically. Number 7, pomegranate. Pomegranate stands out because it supplies a concentrated mix of polyphenols, punicalagens, anthocyanins, and tannins that act as antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. In lab and animal models, pomegranate extracts protect eye cells from oxidative damage and inflammation. And some small human studies and pilot trials suggest pomegranate components can lower oxidative markers relevant to eye health. While much of the experimental work is preclinical, the biological signals are strong enough to treat pomegranate as a useful food to include regularly when the aim is to support eye resilience. Why this matters for cataracts: cataract development is linked to oxidative stress and inflammation in the lens. Pomegranate polyphenols scavenge reactive oxygen species and support antioxidant enzymes in tissues, which helps preserve proteins and cellular function. In animal studies of chemically induced cataracts, pomegranate peel extracts slowed lens clouding and improved biochemical markers in the lens. Those are controlled lab results, not human trials, but they show a direct mechanism that backs up traditional dietary advice. Eat foods rich in varied antioxidants. How to use pomegranate without adding too much sugar. Choose whole arils, the seeds, or fresh pressed unsweetened juice at small portions. Half a cup of arils adds fiber and polyphenols. A small 4 to 6 ounce glass of 100% pomegranate juice can be used a few times per week, but watch total sugar. A practical habit is to sprinkle arils over salads, combine them into grain bowls with beans and greens, or add them to yogurt. Dried pomegranate products often have added sugar, skip those. Other practical combinations: pair pomegranate with a little protein or fat in a snack, Greek yogurt plus a sprinkle of arils to moderate blood sugar response. Pomegranate pairs well with leafy greens and nuts, and the mix gives a range of nutrients that work together. Polyphenols plus lutein/zeaxanthin from greens and healthy fats from nuts improve absorption and provide complementary antioxidant actions. Number 8, avocado. Avocado is a useful pick for eye health for two main reasons. It supplies lutein and zeaxanthin, the carotenoids that accumulate in the eye, and its healthy monounsaturated fats boost absorption of fat-soluble carotenoids from other foods. Lutein and zeaxanthin concentrate in the lens and macula and help filter blue light and reduce oxidative stress. Multiple trials show that adding avocados to the diet increases blood lutein levels and can raise macular pigment density, which is a direct marker of eye protection. That's practical and evidence-based. Why the fat matters. Carotenoids need dietary fat to be absorbed. Eating carrots or leafy greens alone gives carotenoids, but adding a small portion of avocado or another healthy fat increases the amount your body takes up. One controlled trial showed that avocado in a meal improved the absorption of lutein and increased serum lutein, compared with the same meal without avocado. That simple trick, add fat, raises the practical value of many plant foods for the eyes. How to include avocado in a cataract-focused plan. Use half an avocado daily or every other day in meals. Mash it on whole grain toast with a squeeze of lemon. Slice it into salads with leafy greens to pair lutein-rich greens with absorbing fat. Add it to smoothies with spinach and a small protein, or include it as a side with grilled fish. Half an avocado also gives vitamin E and potassium, which support overall vascular health and may indirectly help the eye by improving systemic circulation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more natural health tips. And make sure to watch our next video on screen. It reveals the best foods to protect your eyesight as you age.